What's up, everybody? It's the Gambler, and we're walking and talking today. Actually, we'll be doing less walking and more talking today because it's raining outside. And I said, I better not go out there and get in that weather and risk getting sick. So I think it's better to be in here in the cozy, warm space, and we still can talk about it. So what we're going to talk about today is it okay to be emotionally attached to things? Is it okay to be emotionally attached to things? And what made me want to talk about this is I had a situation where I mentioned to you guys that we were thinking about selling two of our vehicles. And one of my vehicles is this truck. It's a Cadillac Escalade truck that I love, 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 love. Everybody know me know that I love that truck. And I came to the realization last week that I was emotionally in love with that truck. I was emotionally attached to that truck. And it got me to thinking, is that healthy or is that unhealthy, or what is that about? And is that okay? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? So I said I'll talk to you guys about it. Because, the reality of it all is that sometimes we can find ourselves emotionally in love and emotionally attached to things. And is that healthy? In some cases, it can be healthy. And in other cases, it could be not so healthy. And I'm going to tell you how I was emotionally in love with that truck, how I figured out that I was emotionally in love with that truck. Because I had to make the decision, do I keep the truck or do I sell the truck? And I was like talking to everybody, hey y'all, what do you think? Should I sell this truck or keep the truck? And everybody was like, well, you love that truck. I don't know how you gonna sell it. You know you love that truck. And I know my brothers, when I was at home for Thanksgiving, they all love trucks and vehicles, and they have racing teams. So they love cars and race cars and stuff like that. So I thought it would maybe easier to find out if any one of them wanted the truck before I even decided to sell the truck. And they all, love the truck, but they weren't in a place where they were looking to buy a truck or what have you. Because in my mind, I was like, well, if I could just still see it, if I know where it's at. This is how I was thinking about this truck. If I know where it's at and I know who got it, then maybe I'll be okay with that. So it just really got a little crazy. It just felt a little crazy that, I was having all of these emotions around this truck. And so one day I may say, I'm going to sell it. The next day I may say, no, I'm not going to sell it. One day I say I'll sell it. Next day I'll say I'm not going to sell it. One side note, you may notice me look down or something like that or look away because I'm sort of out of my element. I've gotten to the point where I'm used to walking outside, and this feels really out of my element right now. But I do realize that some days the weather is not going to permit for me to go walking. So, I need to prepare for that. So I need to start, doing this anyway. I have to have alternatives. You should always have an alternative. And I guess this is my alternative, and I got to get used to it. And it feels weird to me. Okay. But anywho, we're going to have this talk. So, it was like, how do I sell this truck? And the reason I said sell the truck is because I was trying to make a financial decision. And I knew it would be a good financial decision to sell the truck. But what I didn't know is how much and how I was emotionally in love with the truck and how hard that was going to be for me to do. And I don't know, I've never been, ooh, I want this car, I'm gonna get this car, I'm gonna get that car. To me, a car have just been a car. A vehicle is just a vehicle. But I do like nice vehicles. But that truck was the first vehicle that I saw and loved it and dreamed of getting that truck. And then in 2009, I got that truck. And it's the Cadillac Escalade, the ETX truck. And then it didn't help that in 2011, they stopped making the truck. That made me love the truck even more because I was like, oh my God, if I ever wanted to get another one, I couldn't get another one. This is it. They don't make it anymore. So the thing about it is we have 3 vehicles. So I don't drive the truck very much. The truck was like a 2007 and it only had 80,000 miles on it. I may drive the truck if we don't have something going on, like a road trip or something that we were doing with the truck. I wouldn't drive the truck maybe once a month, if that much. So it was just sitting there because I love it. So a good financial decision was, okay, the truck is getting older, it still has a good value, and we can liquidate that money and use it in other financial ways. And it just was smarter to do that. But before I could do that, I had to agree to sell that truck. And it was a clean truck. So I put a picture up for you guys to see the truck. It's a beautiful truck. And I kept it immaculate in the inside. It looked almost new. It was a beautiful truck. So whoever got that truck out there, somewhere in the world, you have an amazing, good truck. That truck, I'm going to tell you, okay, this might be a shot for Cadillac. Y'all might need to send me like a little give back or throwback or whatever it is, however you want to call it, because I'm going to send you a shout out on that. That truck was a really good vehicle. It was a 2007. I would get the regular maintenance done on it. And I can tell y'all, 16-year-old truck, and I had one repair on it. And it was a tire stem sensor, y'all. That was the only repair. And it was on one tire, one of the front tires. So it was a good truck. So whoever got that truck, they got them a good truck. Or they got them an amazing vehicle. So that was a long, drawn out story. Okay, I know. I'm a little long-winded or whatever. You can speed through telling you the story about the truck. But that's not what this talk is about. This talk is about what it triggered for me is that are we finding ourselves emotionally attached to things, even emotionally in love with things, and is it healthy? Now, had I kept that truck longer than last week, I feel like it would have been going towards the side of becoming unhealthy. Because I was not keeping it for the right reasons. And there was a value in selling it, which was clearly the right reason. But if I wouldn't have sold it, that means I wasn't keeping it for the right reason. I wasn't making the right decision. And to me, that seems like that would have started leaning over towards the side of being unhealthy. So, do you find yourself in a situation where you are emotionally attached to something, either emotionally in love with it or emotionally attached to it, that it can teeter on the sides of unhealthy or could be unhealthy? That's when you need to be concerned, and when you need to talk about it, or you need to understand it, or you need to figure out how to change it, because it's not healthy to be emotionally attached, emotionally in love with things. And my situation was the truck. But the point that I want to talk about, that I see a lot of people, that I could visually see, there's a lot of people out there emotionally and attached to, emotionally in love with tech. They're in love and emotionally attached to their phones, their pads. And some of it seems to be negative in a way. And the reason I say negative, because it start paying attention, and I don't know if some of you do this. We used to do that a long time ago, where you're at dinner and you're not even having dinner together anymore. Everybody at the table is sitting, looking down at their phone and clicking and playing on their phone. And nobody's engaged anymore at the table with each other. They're on the phone. That's because they're all emotionally attached to those phones. And everything that you do now, you're doing it with your phone, or your pad, or your laptop, some type of tech device. That it consumes you. That's all you spend your time with. Families are suffering, marriages are suffering, because cell phones are getting more time than your significant other. Now, if that's happening to you, you got something going on. I don't want to say you got a problem, but it's something there that is concerning. You should not be emotionally attached to something to the point that it starts a negative impact to your life, or a negative impact to something in your life. Spending time with your family, spending time with your loved ones is very important. Very, very important. And it's time that you can't get back. So it should be valued and spent wisely. And what I see happening, or what I have observed, and what triggered me to have this conversation is, it's a lot of people that are not balancing their time because they are emotionally attached to an object, which may be, I'm going to use, for example, which the main ones I'm talking about is these telephones, these cell phones. They're not telephones. Telephones back in the day. These cell phones and these iPads. They're just, attached to them. And that's not healthy. So this conversation is for you guys to do some self-evaluation and find out and evaluate, are you emotionally attached to your phone? And are you emotionally attached to an iPad or a laptop? And if you are, you need to evaluate that and rectify that situation. Only rectify if it's causing a problem. And you may look at it and think that no, it's not causing a problem, but let somebody else be the judge. Let somebody that you spend a lot of time with go and ask them this question. Do you think I spend a lot of time on my phone? Or do you think I spend a lot of time on my pad or on my laptop? See what their response is. 9 out of 10, if they're honest and if they can be transparent and honest with you, 9 out of 10, it may be different than the answer when you asked yourself that question. Because, hey, y'all know we can lie to ourselves all day, every day. All day, every day. We'll do it all the time. The person that you the hardest to tell the truth sometimes is to yourself. It's just so easy and convenient to lie to ourselves. So, if they come back to you and they say, I'm so glad you asked me that. It's like you don't pay me any attention anymore. I could barely talk to you. You like, wait a minute, I'm sending a text. Or wait a minute. Or you showing me a video on Instagram. Or look at this video. Or look at that video. Or you talking about people like you know them. I mean, some people be on they pads and cell phones so much and all up in the Instagrams and the videos and everything to the point that they literally may know the people. They know so much about the people that they could just have conversations about the people and talk about them as if they know them. That's a lot of attachment. That's really being attached. I'm trying to tiptoe around saying or calling some of y'all out that y'all are emotionally attached to your phone, and some of y'all are emotionally attached to your pads. And I'm just gonna have to go and keep it real where you are. If every time you get in the car with your significant other and you in the passenger seat and you pulling out that phone and you on that phone y'all whole trip that y'all in the car, guess what? You emotionally attached to that phone. You in love with that phone. I'm gonna keep it real. If y'all at the table and y'all sitting down and getting, whether you ordering your dinner, from the time you sit down at that table, you got that phone and you looking down at that phone and you not looking across that table at the person that you having dinner with. And the only time that you possibly may look across the table at that person you having dinner with is when you putting food in your mouth. But any other time you got the phone, guess what? You are emotionally attached to that phone. You are emotionally in love with that phone. Whether you like it or not. Do some self-evaluation. And if that is the case, you need to try to rectify it and work on it and fix it. Because it may not be having a negative impact now, but at some point it's going to have a negative impact on your life. And I'm just telling you. Just telling you. It was something that triggered an experience for me that I realized that I was emotionally attached. But, I did something to avoid it having a negative impact, because the money that I got out of selling that truck, and we actually, like I said, I don't know if I mentioned it, but we actually sold both of the vehicles. That was a large financial decision that we made for our futures, an investment into us by selling both of those vehicles. And for one, I wasn't driving the truck anyway. Now, yes, I know the truck is a collectible. I know the truck, it had a lot of pluses for keeping it, but the financial gain of selling it at this point in time was much higher than the emotional attachment that I had to the truck. And, Struggling to make that decision let me know that I had an emotional attachment. But if I struggle to make that decision and I didn't sell it because of my emotional feelings and attachment to that truck, then that's when I know it would have had a negative, that emotional attachment would have had a negative impact to my life. And that's not healthy. We're all about getting healthy, mentally, financially, spiritually, every way possible, physically. So I need y'all to get real. I need y'all to stop being emotionally attached to those phones if you are. And if you need some, or being emotionally attached to those pads, because they're interchangeable. But I'm going to say them because some of y'all might try to slick out of it and say, well, she said phones and I got a pad, so she ain't talking about me. Yeah, I'm talking about you. I'm going to say pad because you will say, well, she didn't say pad, or she said pads and she didn't say phone. If you are emotionally attached to a phone, or you're emotionally attached to a pad, or if you were like how I was, emotionally attached to a car. Some people are running out there, and this is a good example. Here's another story. Y'all all know, because I mentioned it in one of the videos, that I had rented a BMW 740i, and I just fell in love. I had always said, I don't want no BMW. I ain't driving no BMW. I drive Mercedes and Cadillacs. I don't like BMW. I ain't driving no BMW. Sean had even said, I can see you in a BMW. I said, no, you can't see me. You can't see me in no BMW. I don't want no BMW. BMW, y'all, had never did nothing to me. They had never did nothing wrong to me. I just made up in my mind I didn't want no BMW. I don't know why. But when we rented that BMW, they ended up giving, I think they be tricky. Because now every time we travel, remember I told you guys I have a slot channel. And every time we go up there, we get a premium car. Well, how is it that every time we go up there, we get a premium car, but they give us a luxury car free? So the first time we went, they gave us a BMW convertible, and it was nice. I was like, oh, yeah, that's nice. I think it was Sean's birthday. And then back in the summer, we went up there, and they took it up a notch. They gave us a BMW 550. Oh, now I started really thinking about that BMW. I started feeling something for that BMW. I started getting turned on, y'all. That BMW started, but it didn't get me quite yet. So the last time we went up there, this past October, I don't know if they purposely doing it. Now that I'm thinking about it, they might be purposely doing it. I don't know. But they gave us the BMW 740i. And 2025, or it might have been 2026, I can't remember. It might have been 2026 because it was the latest one. I can't remember the year. But it was unbelievable. I mean, I had never been in a car where you can't hear nothing outside. The tech was unbelievable. I love ambient light in the car. The ambient light was amazing. The sunroof, panoramic, everything about the car, the seats, it was amazing. I loved it. And I was like, ooh, I'm getting this car. I'm gonna get this car. This is the car. I'm getting it. And I saw that price tag of that 130, 140. I think that's what it priced at. And I was like, I'm getting this car. And y'all, I wanted that car so bad, I even put God up in it. I said, you know what? I'm going to get that car. God going to give me that car. I was talking to Shirley, and she was like, we're not getting that car. Not no 140. I said, God going to give me that car. He going to give me that car because God give you the desires of your heart. And I desire that car. That is the desire of my heart. God gonna give me that car. He gonna make see that I have that car. She was like, no, we not paying for that car. I was like, no, I said, you need to stop. You need to stop. Child, I was so serious about getting that car, I had started rebuking her. I was like, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. I'm going to have that car. No. I got that car out. I'm claiming it. I got it. I'm claiming it in Jesus' name. I got it. I threw God. I wanted that car so bad, y'all, that I threw God up in it. I threw him up in it to get that car. But that, I still believe I didn't get that car. And I'm not going to get that car if it calls for me paying for that car out of my pocket. But now I still believe God going to give me the desires of my heart. And I still desire that car. So I still believe he going to give me that car. One minute I had to cut that fireplace off because I'm sitting there by the fireplace and started to get a little hot. But anyway, I still believe he going to give me the desires of my heart. And that's that car while I still desire it. And let me tell you how I think I might get it. And I'm going to make sure that I don't release this video till after the fact. But how I think I'm going to get it. And I don't know. I'm going to come back and let y'all know. If I don't get it this way, then I know it's not meant for me to have that car. But if I get that car this way, that's how I know it was meant for me to have that car. He did give me the desires of my heart. I'm going to leave this in this video because I keep it real. And I want y'all to know. I had to cut this fireplace off. This thing is hot over here. It looked good in the background, but whoo, it got a little hot. So excuse me. Excuse me if I start sweating or I look a little sweaty. Well, y'all should be used to me sweating, but it's been cold outside while I'm walking, so I hadn't really sweated much. So you might not have saw me sweat, but this fireplace is definitely doing the job. It's definitely making me sweat. So I had to cut it off. But this is one reason, going back to the subject, jumping back on the subject. This is one way that I think I might get that car, y'all. And remember I told you we do the casinos and we travel a lot. So we are doing a casino trip for Christmas to one of the casinos. And when they sent me the email out of the blue, in that email, they said, you have like 70 entries in a drawing. And I was like, oh, okay. And then the drawing, I was like, what's the drawing? And y'all, it's for a car. Y'all, it's for a 740i BMW 2026. Now y'all know that's got to be my car. That's got to be my car. That's got to be my car. That's got to be fake. Now how in the world, if I say that God gonna give me the desires of my car, what's the odds of a drawing of a car, the exact model and everything? And then my favorite color is maroon and burgundy. Why the car? Because we went down there in October and they had the car on display. Why is the car burgundy? Y'all, that's my car. That's my car. It's my car. That's my car. That's my car. So I'll let y'all know. I'll keep y'all posted. When I'm gonna speak it into existence. When I win that car. And by some weird, crazy chance, I ain't gonna even say it. I'm just gonna tell y'all when I win that car. Because I'm gonna win that car. I'm gonna win that car. Okay. But, anywho, I got on a tangent there. Sorry. If you have an emotional attachment and it becomes unhealthy, you need to do something about that. because it can have a negative impact on your life. It could be an immediate impact, or it could be an impact that could be further down the road, that it impacts something. So you need to evaluate it and be honest about it. And if you find if you ask somebody, or if you did an honest self-evaluation and you find that you are emotionally attached to something, an object, a phone, a pad, a vehicle, you need to do something about it. You don't need to ignore it. You need to do something about it. And that's what this talk was about. And what this talk is about is doing something about it. And what I did about mine, it was really about a financial decision, thinking about our future. Making steps towards, one of the videos was thinking about retirement. And that was one of the decisions that we had to make, looking down the road, financial decisions. And so that selling that car and selling my truck was a part of our financial plan. It was a part of our plan. And I almost wrecked that plan because of my emotional attachment with the truck. If I would have not sold it, I was altering our plan. So that would have had a negative impact. So I think that's all I have to say about that, because I could beat this horse over the head forever. And I'm not. So this video may be short. At least I hope it's short. Because sometimes my walk, I enjoy walking with y'all. They've gotten longer and longer. But anywho, that's what this talk was about. So evaluate that. Start listening to your loved ones, because you're taken away from your relationships. You could be taken away from yourself. You're taken away from so I ain't gonna say something and not tell you how. You're taken away from your relationships, because that's quality time that you can be spending with your significant other. When you're in the car, that's valuable time that you could be spending with your significant other. That's not the time to be on your phone. That's the time to enjoy riding in the car with your loved one. And you guys engaging and sharing time together. When you're at the dinner table and you're having dinner together, that's valuable time. That's time that you guys engage and share and break bread together. The phone is still in it. The pad is still in it. So that's what I mean when it could be impacting you in your personal life, or with whoever you're sharing time with. It's taken away from that time that you have to share. And then how it can take away time from yourself. You can be doing things to self-build yourself. Things like anything that could be self-help. You don't have the time to do it because you're on your phone and you're on your pad. You may be watching videos on Instagram, or shorts on Facebook, or posting on Instagram, or posting on the social medias. And I'm not trying to pick on any one particular social media. I'm just saying Instagram and I'm saying Facebook, but any social media. And I'm also, disclaimer, I'm not saying that social media is bad. That's a whole nother talk. We can talk about social media, but social media is heavy what people use their phones for a lot and their pads for a lot is social media. But you could be taken away from yourself. You could be learning and training, building your career. You could be doing studies, growing mentally, spiritually, that you may not be doing, or you may be doing those positive things on your phone. As long as it's something positive on your phone and it's still balanced, then yeah, okay. I'm not saying don't do that. And I'm not saying don't use your phone and don't use your pad. What I'm saying is make sure that it's healthy time that you're doing it, that you're spending with your phone and your pad, and not a negative emotional time that you're spending with your phone or your pads or your laptops or whatever object it is that you are emotionally attached to. So I'm gonna wrap it up. I hope you guys got value from this conversation, and that you would leave me a like, comment, subscribe, and even if you didn't get value from this, y'all know the routine. Even if you did get value from this video, like, subscribe, leave me a comment. Really would appreciate it. And I am going to see you guys on the other side of another video. Love you all.